Hi, I'm Laura Faulkner, an independent sales consultant with Norwex. Today, I want to show you the difference between mechanical and chemical cleaning. Now, some of you may be familiar with products like these. Often, these are the big guns that people pull out when somebody gets the sniffles or they get sick. I'd like to show you how these products may not be doing exactly what you think they are. The reason that people are so dependent on these is because it says right here on the bottle that it kills 99% of viruses and bacteria. Now, when you start to look at the fine print, there are stars with disclaimers. The first of those is exactly which viruses and bacteria it actually kills. And it's not all of them. The second is that you've got to use this product as directed. Have you ever turned the bottle over and read the instructions on the back? This is where it gets interesting, y'all. So let's take a deeper look at this. The first set of instructions tells you that you must leave the surface wet with the chemical in this product for 4 minutes, sometimes longer depending on which brand you use. The reason for this is because it's a chemical disinfecting process. So a surface needs to be left wet with this chemical and contact time for it to actually destroy anything that's on the surface. Yeah. Now, a lot of these people using the products aren't actually using it correctly. I know for myself, I never read these instructions. When you keep reading the fine print, you're going to find that if that surface is going to come in contact with food, toys, or it's a porous surface, then you actually need to come behind and remove that chemical with a clean water source. Now, this is the manufacturer doing its due diligence to let us know that the product needs to be removed before it comes in contact with humans. There's even a little disclaimer on the back that says it's hazardous to humans and domestic animals. Yikes! Who do they think is using this product? There's a lot of research out there that you should definitely check out. I'd like to share a couple of them with you just real quick. So the first of them is a study that was done by the National Center for Biotechnology Information. This is often referred to as the NCBI. They did a study in September of 2018, and it actually shows linkages between disinfectants that are causing obesity in children. The reason for this is because it's altering the bacteria that's naturally existing in their gut. Also, disinfectant chemicals are called quaternary ammonium compounds. This is often referred to as quats. This is found in disinfecting wipes, and it's especially problematic. These studies done by the EWG and Women's Voices from the Earth actually found that these chemicals are skin irritants, can irritate your lungs, and have been linked to asthma and cause reproductive harm. The overuse of these quats can also lead to the promotion of antibacterial resistant bacteria, also known as superbugs. This is bad for everyone. So with Norwex, we don't need all these different chemicals to kill the bacteria because our microfiber is effectively removing up to 99% of bacteria from the surface when it's used with proper care. One scenario that I think people can relate to is a teacher in a classroom. A teacher might have a classroom full of children, and they often get the sniffles or someone gets sick. And when those kids go out to recess or they take a lunch break, then the teacher might grab those disinfecting wipes and go from desk to desk. We know that those surfaces are not actually being disinfected because it's not being left on the surface for the amount of contact time. So it would take 4 to 10 minutes of exposure on the chemical on each desk for it to actually disinfect the surface. That's usually not happening. Worse than that, very rarely is a teacher coming behind with a wet cloth and only water to remove that toxic residue from the desk. So then think, children come back in the classroom and they're laying their head on the desk or they're putting their snack on there, and then there's a lot of chemical exposure there. This is just one of the many examples that show why it's so important to educate people on the dangers of these disinfecting wipes. I know that for most people, seeing is believing. So I'm going to use a product called Glow Germ. This is actually used to show antiseptic techniques. When exposed to a black light, it casts a glow that turns the invisible into germs that we can see. So one way that this product is used is to possibly show a child how they may not be washing their hands as well as they think they are. Put this on their hands, and after they've washed, then shine a black light on it to see how they did. Now, I want to show you the comparison of using disinfecting wipes and the Norwex EnviroCloth. For my setup, I have Glow Germ and my black light. The first thing I'm going to do is put a little Glow Germ on the surface, and I'll just sprinkle it on. When exposed to the black light, you will see that it glows. The first thing that I want to do is put on a glove to take the precautionary methods before handling the disinfecting wipe. Then I will take one of these out of the container, and I'm going to clean the surface as one would normally do. And then this is when people would normally carry on with their activities, maybe make a sandwich on the counter or put a kid's snack on the surface. So let's shine the black light and see how clean it is. Can you see how it really just spread it around? It's all still there. It's just been spread around. As you can tell, I did not use this according to those directions. I used it like most people do. If we did leave it wet with an exposure of 4 to 10 minutes, then those germs would be dead and you'd be left with a surface full of dead germs. But of course, there's another way to clean. You can clean mechanically with our Norwex microfiber using only water. It has the ability to remove up to 99% of bacteria from the surface when following proper care and use. Now, when we shine the light again, you'll see that the surface is actually left clean. The great thing about our cloths is that they have Backlock in them, which is our exclusive microsilver antibacterial agent. It goes to work to self-purify and inhibit odors from bacteria, mold, and mildew growth. Now, if I take that same wipe and I put it back onto the surface, then you're going to see what starts to happen again. When I shine the light, it just put it right back onto the surface again. So if I go back to that same scenario with a teacher and the desk situation, if the teacher has gone from the first desk and there were bacteria on that desk, and then go to the next desk, it is spreading it because it's not being allowed to have the chemical contact for the proper instructed amount of time, and using a clean wipe for each surface. In contrast, if I go back with the same side of that EnviroCloth and clean that same surface again, you will see that the surface is yet again being left clean. So there you have it. I hope this demonstration empowers you and that you share with those that you love the dangers of those disinfecting wipes and how you can be even more effective using a Norwex EnviroCloth and just water.